and tips with you today. So welcome to our first live chat on the Happy Healthy Teachers page. So hi, Meg.
Hi, Karen. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What are you up to today?
Oh, we're having a jammy day, but I did get dressed for this because I think that's professional. But yeah, we're having a nice quiet day for the start of the holidays. We've got the jigsaw puzzle out. Been doing a couple of posts for our whānau, and just keeping it nice and chill. What about you?
In work mode today, so I actually woke up really early, which was amazing. So I was up well before 6, so a bit too early really, but wasn't my intention. So but maybe I was just extra excited to be able to share this and be able to chat with you today. So there we go. So hi, someone says thanks for getting dressed. We are so appreciative. It is awesome. So we're going to have a wee chat today, and we'd love those of you watching just to let us know some of your tips around what are you doing over the next 4 weeks in lockdown to keep yourself well, to keep yourself motivated, energized. I know that for us in New Zealand, it's the holidays, so we actually, can have maybe a couple of weeks just to relax and chill. But I think there's also some work that needs to be done during that time to be able to deliver online, something we've probably never done before. So we're going to share some tips and ideas, and then we'd love you to share yours in the chat. So, Meg, tell us, what is it that you're doing to keep yourself well over these next 4 weeks?
So some of it is really about there's sort of like a personal side, and then there's the family side of keeping well and getting my family involved. So in the mornings I'm doing my yoga and really appreciating the little bit of extra time to be able to do that. It's not so much rush in the morning now. I'm getting outside every day and taking my son with us. It's great having the dogs. They're a fantastic excuse to have to go outside, even on miserable rainy days like this one.
I'm going to interrupt you for a minute. Did you see the guy down south who was taking his goat for a walk?
Yeah. Good look at.
I think there's such Kiwi ingenuity. It's like, I want to get out for a walk, I'll take my goat.
I've also got a lead for my 3-legged rabbit. I may have to pull that out. And then we're doing things like every day I post a go noodle for my class to do, just to get the wiggles out at any time. But my son and I, we do it as well. And then we go through and we find, his job is to help me find the next one. So we'll go through 3 or 4 different go noodles together to find that. So it's a lot of fun. Slow cooking, slow eating.
Oh, nice. I like that.
It's really, really, yeah, I'm really loving that.
It sounds like what you're talking about is having a bit of a routine, even though you're on holiday. And what a wonderful teacher you are, that you are also reaching out to your students still in the school holidays.
Yeah, at the moment, I actually contacted all the parents last week to check to see if they wanted me to continue posting and staying in touch. And several of them did. And it just does keep that little bit of, for some of our children, that little bit of connection going. And I think that's really important at a time like this.
Absolutely. And particularly when our children are often in homes with high anxiety, parents have lost their jobs, have no income, that the teacher can be that bridge between the home environment and the world. So, and someone they trust and they love being in touch with them. So that's wonderful. So having some routines, I've been doing the same thing. I have my victory hour every morning where I get up and I do 20 minutes of huffy puffy exercise, or sometimes yoga, but normally something that gets my blood running. 20 minutes of meditation or goal setting or planning or affirmations, that sort of thing, journaling, something that's good for my reflection, and then 20 minutes of learning. And so actually I was reading our book for the book club today, and halfway through that chapter we're going to talk about on Wednesday night. And I just love learning new things. I think even though, these are interesting times, there's still wonderful opportunities to keep learning. And so that's my victory out every morning, and then having my really healthy breakfast and getting into the day. So sometimes, when it's holiday mode, I'm a bit later on that, and sometimes it's between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. So just depending on what I'm doing. But I'm hearing you too talking about routines. And so for the people listening, I'd love to know, what's your routine? What are you keeping doing every day, even though it's the school holidays and maybe it's just a little later, that you can continue to make sure that you are staying on track and keeping yourself well and healthy? So.
Hey, and hi to everybody who's putting their wee notes up the side too. It's lovely to see.
Yeah.
I thought I'd just show you this. This is a wee journal that I'm keeping with my son.
Yep.
I'm terrible at these screen things, lefts and rights.
Left and rights are all the opposites, like backing a trailer, Meg.
So what we're doing is every night I've got a couple of sites drawing on the light side are doing a cartoon every night at 7 o'clock. They put up a cartoon instruction. And then Marshmallow and Mint, they put up a drawing challenge every day. So, for example, this one here, we had doing a dog or a cat. And then that was for the cartoon challenge. And then this was the Marshmallow and Mint's one, which was to draw a turtle with very big boots. And so my boy and I are doing this every night. So at 7 o'clock, we sit up at the table, we get the cartoons up, and we draw away and we chat, and I do my journaling at the same time. And it's actually a really nice, peaceful thing to do.
Nice.
So that we start getting ready for bed. Or for him to get ready for bed, let's be honest. And yeah, so that's a little thing that we picked up this for this time.
So that's Marshmallow and Mint, or Mint and Marshmallow? I never remember.
Marshmallow and Mint.
Marshmallow and Mint, yes.
And drawing on the light side. I'll put those links up on the Happy Healthy Teachers page later.
We can put them under this video, actually, so that would be great. Yeah, so when people are watching those. So, yes, Marshmallow and Mint, and what's the other one?
Drawing on the light side.
Drawing on the light side. But that's even just another routine, isn't it? Keeping your children in routine. If you've got children at home, making sure, because it's a stressful time for them too, not knowing what's going to happen, being suddenly thrown into the school holidays, and keeping that routine going is really important. Yeah, so absolutely. Now, I'm seeing lots of people posting that they're keeping their morning yoga up. What we can't see on this feed, unfortunately, is who's posting. It just says Facebook user. So I don't know if I've done the settings incorrectly, or it's because we're on a private page. So that's really interesting. So it'd be great if you could sign your name with your post, so then with your comments, so that we can actually know who you are, because at the moment you're all anonymous. So and I know some of you are multitasking at the same time, making lunch and getting yourself organized. So absolutely, I love this one. The Les Mills, 3 o'clock with the kids, and 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. What a great initiative, live on the television. So you can do that. I know one of the girls in my house said, I'm going to do the Les Mills today because it's on demand. I said, it's not till 3 o'clock. She said, no, it's on demand. These teenagers know everything. And so, yes, she's doing that. So, keeping that exercise up. I know I'm self-isolated in Nelson, away from my family for a wee while now, and it's usually a very quiet street where I am at my parents' holiday home. But actually, I am seeing, you wouldn't believe how many people going up and down this very steep street, walking, biking, people just getting out there. And you mentioned sunshine before. I think that's also important for our well-being, keeping up that vitamin D that we can get. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, yeah,
and just appreciating the small things, it's like I've been putting up challenges for my class, and they're little challenges like go outside and see if you can find as many different signs of autumn as possible. Getting them to focus in on the little things. Think about all the things that you're grateful for. Say thank you to the people in your house who are helping you or who do nice things for you. Ring your nana and say thank you to your nana. Little things like that I think are really important. Those are things that I think perhaps this forced isolation makes us appreciate a little bit more too. It's just the little things that go through that we have in our days that we just don't notice because we're too busy or we're going somewhere or doing something else.
Absolutely. I think there's, that opportunity just to reflect and stop and pause, reflect on what's going on, and then just see the incredible beauty around us, see the opportunities. How many times have we always said, oh, I wish I had time, or I wish. And now, what a wonderful opportunity to actually just sit back and reflect on what our life has been like, have an opportunity to redesign it, and then press that reset button and go, do you know, this is who I'd like to be in the world. I personally feel like I'm in an incredible cocoon right now because I have been in self-isolation all by myself, and with no hope of going home until this is over. And there's a fear for me about going outside this cocoon right now because I'm in day 12 and I don't really want to leave this cocoon because it's safe and it's cozy and it's nice. But really starting to think about, when I do leave this cocoon, how do I want to be in the world? How do I want to present myself? What kind of person do I want to be? What do I want the world to be like, so that we can if we all start thinking like that, maybe this is a wonderful opportunity to completely reset how the world works.
Sounds fantastic, eh? There's that hope.
Yes.
I think that we have to keep that alive, and as teachers we need to keep it alive for our kids and for our families. I think that's really important. How have you, because you've been on your own, away from your home, away from your things, at least I completely cleaned out the bathroom yesterday. You know how many bath bombs I have? I could buy every day for the entire lockdown and I wouldn't get through them all. It's incredible.
You start using those.
So, for you don't have that even. So how has that been for you?
Well, I am in a familiar surrounding because it's my parents' holiday home. And actually, interesting you mentioned the bathroom cupboard, because I did say to my mother, I think I'll go through that cupboard and throw everything out that's been there for over 20 years. There's potions and I'm just like, no one wants to use these because I think, holiday homes, they just get left and it's all neat and tidy, but I'm just like, oh, no one actually wants, uses this because I really don't think it'll be okay. I sort of had some of my things with me because I'd been overseas, and I've got my good gear for going out and flash places, which isn't so good when you're trying to relax. So my family had sent a suitcase to the airport so I could bring some extra clothes with me before I came. And actually, I'm going to go out of sight for a minute. My daughter put in my pillow, so I can't do the left-right thing either. So there's it's my pillow from my bed. So she put that in for me, and they sent me a care package last week, and they're sending me another one this week. The first care package had my shorts in it because it's been such a stunning days in Nelson here, and I really thought I can't just keep wearing my jeans every day. But yes, I'm doing okay. I've been reaching out to people, and I think that's another thing when we're in isolation, and particularly in this lockdown. Make sure you reach out. I've been hosting happy hours on Zoom, and I've had a quiz night. I'm going to have a quiz night. I've had a games night where a whole lot of friends just joined and we played online games. So there's so many opportunities to be able to connect. And of course, because my parents, they live 2 hours away, but they've got friends here. And even this morning, I had one of them ring and say, when I come out of my total isolation and I am allowed to leave the house, would I like to borrow their car because they have a spare one, which was just so kind.
Yeah.
So kindness has been abundant, and I have been. I've been well looked after, and people are checking up on me all the time. And then I've also had my downs when I stopped in the weekend, and there was that fear of what if I do leave the house? When will I ever get home? And I had a few tears, which I think is really important for your well-being too.
Yeah. It's about feeling all the feelings, eh?
Yeah, and I
And
think
it's okay.
Yeah, and I think that's true for our listeners as well. You're going to go through those ups and those downs as we go through this lockdown. If you've got children at home, they're definitely going to go through those ups and downs, sometimes every hour, maybe 5 minutes. So it's just acknowledging and allowing those feelings to happen. And a friend challenged me yesterday to say, how deep could I take those feelings? So that was a bit scary. But I'm like, yeah, I meditated on that this morning. Why? What makes me feel that way? And so it was like, yeah, that's cool. All good and healthy. So
Remember, was it Maggie Dent? No, Robin Moore talked about crap attacks.
Oh, tell me more.
This was from a conference years ago, and she talked about crap attacks being cynicism, resignation, apathy, or procrastination. And so basically, it's if you've got a big stressful feeling or a negative feeling or something like that, it's saying, okay, I'm going to have a crap attack now. I'm going to feel this feeling. I'm going to give it as much energy as it needs. I'm going to really dig in and really, really have it. But then I'm going to give it a time limit. So she'd talk about having a real, 10 minutes, massive crap attack. She does have a children's version called a wham attack, waiting, hard, angry, mean. But the message I took from that was that it's about not denying the feelings, acknowledging them, allowing them to be, sitting with them, going deep with them, but then letting them go and knowing that that doesn't have to be all of what we do or all of what we feel, that we can say, okay, I'm really going to wallow in this for a little while. I'm going to go back to my bed. I'm going to snuggle in, and I'm not going to talk to anybody for a day. But then I'm going to come out again, and I'm going to choose a new feeling, or I'm going to feel better. This isn't going to last forever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've quite paraphrased her as eloquently as what I should have, but yeah.
No, that makes total sense. So, I think it is just about that allowing and that feeling, that emotion. Yeah. I came up with 4 F's that I thought were useful to make sure that we are doing while we're in this lockdown. And the first one is food, and making sure we eat really wholesome food. It did surprise me when there was a rush on the supermarkets that it was the quick fix, maybe unhealthy food that was going first rather than the fresh fruit and vegetables. And so making sure that we're eating really well and eating, the nutrients that our body needs to be able to heal. I think that's a really important part. The second one is fitness. We've talked about that, making sure you're getting some form of exercise and moving around. The third one is fun. What are you doing to have fun every day? And so whether that's you're doing your 3-way conferences with people, or you've got someone's just said they've got a WhatsApp chat going with some friends or some teachers that they're connecting with. And the fourth one is family, and making sure you do connect. And I know that I was really appreciative actually last night. I have 2 teenage girls in my house. One's mine and one's my adopted girl recently. And they have found a party app, and so you can play games. So you can invite people to this party app, and we were having to draw little pictures like Pictionary online. There was quizzes, and it was just really lovely to connect. And so, but if I was home, we'd be playing board games. We'd be doing jigsaw puzzles. Actually, I know there's a jigsaw puzzle in my next care package. So I'm like, woohoo. But, what are you doing with your family to make sure you connect, having dinner together? And I'm still able to do that with the magic of FaceTime. and being able to have my phone and their phone on while we're all eating dinner. So I feel like I'm part of that conversation. But if you're still in the same house, it's those F's that are important. So that's the food, the fitness, the fun, and the family. So someone's saying house party. That is the name of the app. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Actually, my sister, what she did the other day was she posted a puzzle, like a sort of like a logic puzzle.
Oh, yes.
She sent it to me a personal message, and then with a little bit of a challenge. How many can you find? I can find 11.
And then there's that competition, that sibling rivalry, was it?
Yeah, nothing like bringing it into the virtual world. So this morning I've posted one back to her. So that's a little bit of fun and a little bit of like you say, a little bit of competition and connecting with the family.
Nice. I like it.
Good fun.
So you mentioned gratitude before, and I think actively actually finding that gratitude is really important. I had a wonderful catch up with what people we call gratitude sisters yesterday, and what a wonderful process or practice it is just to be able to stop every day, even now, and just say, hey, what is it that I'm grateful for? Because there's so much that we have in our world that we so much take for granted. I particularly see when I have the pleasure of traveling around the world, seeing incredible things, but coming back to this country going, wow, every time I do, I just go, wow, we are so lucky here. And I love the perspective of a colleague of mine who said, yes, this is challenging times. Yes, we're being inconvenienced, but our grandparents, great-grandparents were asked to go to war and die, possibly die. We're just being asked to wash our hands and stay on the couch. So, while it's inconvenient, it's actually not that bad, in the perspective of things. So.
And we're incredibly lucky, or many of us are incredibly lucky. We have warm homes. We have access to food. We have access to technology. Look at what we're doing here. So we can connect with people. And, like there's people all around the world that are doing exactly what we're doing, and people in our own country, unfortunately, that are doing it far harder.
Correct. Mm.
And so, yeah, we've got an awful lot to be grateful for.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's another one that goes around that's saying about Anne Frank.
Mm.
And we had to sit in she was in isolation for a number of days too, 700 and something, I believe. And like if you visited Anne Frank's house, you just get the idea of just how little space there was and how incredible vulnerable they were because they couldn't make noise.
I know. Imagine.
I couldn't imagine that. Imagine doing Go Noodle. No, you couldn't. Or anything. Just that whole sense of just how much freedom and how much space we have. Yeah.
Absolutely. And and we've got families who are going to find it hard with no income, and the government seems to have been very, very generous to be able to try and make sure that people are going to be okay. And so it's using those resources carefully. And I know that I've been grateful that I can keep my employees going for a little bit longer, and to be able to keep doing what we do. And so I'm extremely grateful that we're in this amazing country. So, yeah.
I see that Kerry's just mentioned that one of the struggles is the letting go of the plans that you did have, for people who had plans to go on holiday and to go away and have adventures here, there and everywhere. And I think there's a really good idea out there around creating a wish jar. So what you do is you write down your ideas of things that you would do if you weren't in lockdown. What would you like to do? And you put that in the wish jar, and then that then becomes a source of ideas that you can go to when this is all over. and you're sitting there on a day and go, I don't know what to do, you go pull one of them out.
What a great idea.
Yeah,
it's easy to forget, isn't it? It's easy because that's what I see when we come out of this. It would be easy to forget, what it was like when we just go back to whatever normal is going to look like, and the chance that, the possibility that we go back to just being how we were before. Yeah. And so that's that for me. That's the scary part. Then does it all happen again? Does it? How does that cycle happen? So yeah, I love the jar with ideas of what I would do. So thanks for that. So
it's not my idea; it's someone else's, and that's the wonderful thing that I'm finding too, is that it's managing the amount of information coming at the moment can be a bit of a struggle, but there's just so much that's been given. So many ideas that have been shared from a teaching perspective, the amount of apps that have been opened up, Audible's giving free stories for kids to listen to. All this stuff is just opened up. Like yesterday morning, was it yesterday? Yeah. Or the day before, I can't remember. I went walking around the British Museum virtually, and it was incredible. I got lost. It was just like the real thing several times. I had to try and get my son to come over because he plays Minecraft, so he knows how to see the world in 3D.
Yes.
But it was really, really fun, and there's all these places that I can explore, and all of this has opened up that I wouldn't have noticed, I wouldn't have seen, I wouldn't have used. So there's that's really quite exciting. It's just managing so that it doesn't become too much, I think, is the challenge.
Yeah, because it becomes a bit overwhelming, all the things we could be doing and could be logging into. And so making sure that, you have a clear perspective on, you don't have to do everything while we're in lockdown. So
don't tell my husband I want the house painted.
Yes. I would do that. I've got my husband and my son and 2 girls at home. I'm like, they could paint the fence. They could be weeding the garden. They could be cleaning up. They could be. Well, I'm not there, and I'm like, no. Number one, it's not going to happen anyway. But I was talking to a group of ladies the other day about, what are the things you've always said you want to do, and so sort out your photographs. Put people's names on the back of them if you've got real photographs. Clean out your desktop. I think we just need to choose one thing. Maybe it's prune the trees. Maybe it's research your family tree. I don't know, but choose one thing that you want to do over these next 4 weeks. Maybe it's you want to start a blog, or you want to write your memoir, or, and then just choose an hour, 2 hours a day if you can find that, and just be diligent and do that. Because then when we come out of this, we can go, look what I did with my time. I think the challenging part is if we come out and we look back and go, didn't do anything.
I wish I'd used it better.
Yes. Yeah, I wish I could have, would have, should have, and it's not going to be so useful. So any other tips on the whole well-being? How do you keep yourself well over this period?
I don't know. I think there's I keep coming back to this idea that we have the power of choice over the thoughts that we have.
Nice.
That's something that I keep coming back to, because it's really easy for me to get dragged into the darkness, the abyss, or to get sidetracked on stuff, or react to things, small irksome things I can react to and become big. And it's as remembering that in each moment we actually have the power to choose. We may not be able to choose the circumstances, but we can choose how we react. And that's a really that's been really useful for me to just be a more pleasant person to be around, actually, to be perfectly honest, especially for my poor husband. Just keeping that in mind. It would be my big take home at the moment for me.
Actually, on my own Facebook page on Wednesday, I think it'll be about 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm interviewing Ali Mooney. And we're going to talk about the different personality types. And because while we're all in this lockdown, suddenly we're close to these personality types that we often spend more time apart with because we're at work. And now we're stuck in this cabin fever sort of mentality. And so she's going to talk about how we can actually navigate that and how some great ideas. So I'll share the link on this page.
Oh, please do. Ellie is amazing.
No, so yes, she's been part of a mastermind group of that I've been on, and we've just been talking about how can we serve, how can we be giving back, what can we be sharing to help people to be the best that they can be over this time, or emerge from this cocoon, the best that we can be. So, yeah.
I like that concept of emerging, like we're sort of tucked up for a little while.
Yeah, like a little caterpillar.
Yeah.
And then we'll all become these butterflies.
Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, and we get to decide what kind of butterfly we want to be. I think that's the coolest part, really. So yeah, absolutely. Hey, well, thank you so much for coming out of your pajamas to talk to us today.
That's how I serve.
Yes. Well, you tell your boys at home that we are very grateful that you've broken protocol on pajama day, and that you have been able to share some wonderful ideas. And I also want to personally thank you for all the time and effort and work you put on this particular page, the Happy Healthy Teachers page. You know, your daily Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday posts, and your wisdom and your insights that you continue to share, because I know that you're an inspiration to me and to many others. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's actually really good for me. It's part of my process too. You know, it's good for, when you do something for others, it makes you feel good too.
Absolutely.
So yeah, thank you.
And I think you learn more when you do it for others, when you do that service. So absolutely. So people, thank you so much for joining us. We will put some of the links we mentioned underneath this post or this, and you'll be able to watch it again. It's only shareable on this page, so it's not a public stream today, but I'll be letting you know the next ones that I'll be doing. And let me know who you want me to interview, whether it's for teachers or whether it's someone that you know. And just a little advert, I guess, that in July we were already having Spectrum Education was going to be running our online summit. So we'll be also great at online. And so I have 24 incredible worldwide leaders in education who will be speaking with me. And so that's going to be really exciting as well. So I'll let you know about it. So thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody, and thanks for all the ideas. It's awesome.
Yeah, we'll reply underneath your post soon, although we don't always know who you are. So thank you.
Ka kite anō.